Hello everyone! So today I have another unboxing and testing video, and as you can see, today's products come from Gaahleri. I was contacted some weeks ago about a possible collaboration together. I obviously accepted, and after exchanging several emails to be sure that I choose the right products for the work I do, today I can begin with my first unboxing and testing video, and that is for this particular airbrush. And then I also received some of their amazing Kaleido Colorworks, which I shall test out and show in detail into my next video. However, today's video will be about the airbrush. And let's start. And here is my personal choice for the airbrush, the Mobius TG. I have chosen this one for two different reasons. One is because it is a trigger type. I have been thinking about upgrading to a trigger type for quite some time now, so I saw this model as the perfect choice to do that, and also because it is a 0.5 needle, and I've been working with a 0.5 for ages now, and that is a particular airbrush size that I really like, that I really enjoy working with, so I chose to keep that size together with a trigger, so this Mobius was the perfect choice. Let's begin by taking it out of the plastic and go ahead, see the details. Let's go ahead and open it because I'm looking very forward to see the contents, to actually see the airbrush for the first time. We have some papers to welcome us. Dear customer, and on the back we can see some important information from what I can see related to cleaning so that you can disassemble in the correct way. And also we have the quick start guide, which once again contains important information. That's it. So 4 pages in English, and then you continue with different languages. I will be taking a closer look at these when looking also at the airbrush. But now let's see the actual airbrush. Nice, very nice. I'm already liking what I'm seeing. Over here we have two O-rings. I'm guessing that these are extra in case the ones included inside gets damaged. And then, so we have the actual airbrush. We have the paint cup. And also the second cap that is included. All right, so the airbrush, very nice finish from what I can see. Even the trigger handle, you can see how great it is. And let me try something, and yes, exactly. As you can see, the trigger doesn't touch with my fingers, and my hand is not one of the smallest, so I can appreciate the effort by Gaahleri so that when the trigger is fully pulled, it doesn't touch with your finger, because many times you have to fully pull the trigger fully inside, and having it touch continuously with your bare hands, it's not a nice feeling. From a quick peek I took at the manual while turning the pages, there are 3 different types of adjustments, which is this one right here, this one right here, and also the back one. And speaking of them, let's see what exactly they are, because there's nothing better than referring back to the manual, okay, when looking at something the first time. So the back one is the preset fluid control knob to limit the maximum paint output. The one at the front, turn the knob to control the airbrush airflow. The third one, turn this knob to adjust the force of the main lever. Alright, so now we know exactly what those 3 adjustments do. And the gravity fluid cup, as you can see, it's quite big, it's quite large, nothing wrong with that, especially if airbrushing 2K clear, for example, and it's nice, it's good to have a cap that holds quite some amount of paint, screws in place. And another good thing that I could notice is if you see that one as being too big to handle, I don't think that, in my opinion, it will be a problem like that. However, if you see that one is being too big, once again, we refer to the manual and we have compatible with any Gaahleri fluid cup. And finally, let's see the cap right there. So right now, it is fitted with the round cap. As we can see, the needle is in the middle. There we go, pull the back. So it comes pre-fitted with the round cap, for me, at least. But then we also have included the fan cap, which looks like a nice addition, something different, something that is usually found on larger spray guns. And those two, they are those referred to over here, fan cap, the one that I have shown, and also the round cap. So the round cap is the traditional airbrush cap, which gives you a roundish spraying pattern, so that when we are moving, the fan cap can be placed into 2 different directions, vertical or horizontal, depending on the type of paint that is required. So if we place it horizontal, as can be seen, we will be having like a rectangular pattern going horizontally. If we place it vertically, we have that horizontal pattern, and then we can airbrush vertically to have, once again, that rectangulish going upwards. We have gone through almost all of the quick start guide. Over here we have information about the quick release connection, air connection that is fitted already to the bottom. Over here we have some disassembly information, very, very useful for when it comes to clean the airbrush. More information about what to do and what not to do, the perfect spraying pattern to try to achieve. And once again, on the back, we have more information, this time about adding lube. Some attention, and that is all when it comes to the English manual. So now, it's a good time to go to the airbrush booth and make some tests of the Mobius TG. Let's see what it's capable of. And one other thing, however, is just some couple of seconds ago I have mentioned the quick release. Maybe not everyone has a quick release connection. I don't. I'm still waiting for mine to be delivered because I ordered them quite recently. However, that's not a problem because you can unscrew the quick release. It's a nice addition from Gaahleri to have it readily available. Not on all airbrushes, this is readily available in the box. However, once you unscrew it and remove it, you'll find a 1/8 thread over there, so that you can connect your airbrush hose manually. Alright, so enough talking, enough blah 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 blah. Let's go ahead into the spray booth. So I have connected the air hose and set the compressor to 2 bar, so the working pressure throughout these tests, I will keep it to 2 bar, so that you will know the air pressure that I am actually working with throughout these tests. Before putting any paint, let's go through quickly the features which I have already mentioned. So the first test shall be done with the round cap, as you can see, the one that came pre-installed with the airbrush. And also over here we have the air control knob, and right now it is fully closed, like this it is fully closed. And also on the back we have the fluid control knob, which I shall demonstrate right now. So right now it is fully open, as we can see over here. The trigger can be fully pulled, as we see. However, if I close this knob right here, you could see the movement over here, and that limits, okay, as you can see, it doesn't even move. So this adjustment is so that, for example, if you want to work with just this amount of the trigger, to be sure that you don't pull it too much and too much paint goes onto your surface, you can preset so that is like a precaution, so that the trigger is not pulled more than you require. For this test, I shall keep it fully open to have full control over the trigger. Now, the first adjustment, the air control knob. Right now it is fully closed, as I've said, and once I start turning, there we go. Like this, it is fully open. So you have also the adjustment, something which we shall also be seeing into the demonstration. I shall bring a paper and make some tests onto it, because it's better to see this kind of adjustment onto a paper. And this airbrush is obviously a dual action airbrush, and that means that this trigger has two stages. The first stage, so you feel a stop right there, and that is just air, so that you can blow air onto the surface before airbrushing, maybe to clean it, to remove any dust. And pulling the trigger further, paint will start to come out. Obviously, right now no paint is present, so only air is coming out. When it comes to putting the paint, so we remove the lid, and we can see how shiny, what a mirror effect is inside the cap. And that is, let's see what Gaahleri themselves have told us about that cap over here in one of the features. Ultra mirror level removable cup for effortless cleaning. So that mirror effect right there, that mirror coating, let's call it like that, is so that the paint attaches the least possible to the metal, and it will be easier to clean when you are ready from the job. So to begin with, I have some decanted gloss black paint. Close the lid, and we head for some tests. So I have opened it just enough so that paint will start to come out. And you can see the effect. Maybe you would require that type of effect. You just open the front adjustment just a little bit, keep open it, and normal flow will start flowing. There we go. Let's make it fully open, like this. And I can notice that even more paint is actually coming out. So that gives you that type of adjustment. Let me open it just. So this is one of the minimum from the adjustment knob. And if I spray closely to the paper, let's try to close it a little bit even more, and there you go, you have this splattering effect. So that is the least possible open trigger. And if I open it a bit more to the full position, we now have, so that is just slightly until the paint comes out, mid open and fully open, so that you can see the difference, while this is the same settings, however keeping a little bit further away. It is filled with paint, and I build 1:24 scale cars. There we go. I have brought once again the Poor Sylvia ready for some tests. I have sanded down the body a little bit so that it will be ready for some further testing, and I shall be doing some tests to see the airbrush pattern with the round cap and the front adjustment knob. Right now it is fully open. Let's see the result. So this is a gloss black. I pulled the trigger halfway. I didn't pull it all the way, but I want to test it out on the hood, pulling the trigger all the way. Let's see. I must say that I'm impressed. Very nice. Just as you can see, just a couple of strokes and it is fully covered. The 0.5mm trigger needle configuration really helps when it comes to larger areas like a 1:24 car body, and I must say that I really like the outcome using the round cap. So after brushing the body, let's go ahead and see if the part is a little bit smaller. Will the 0.5mm needle be too much when it comes to spraying smaller pieces than a body? Let's see, the trigger is fully open. I will keep it fully open. I want to check. Okay, so that is fully open, and I will limit with the trigger so that I will not fill the panel lines with paint. Let's go ahead and see. All right, there we go. Very glossy indeed, gloss black. So even if the part is smaller, as we can see, smaller than a body, this type of airbrush 0.5 with that round cap isn't a problem to handle even smaller parts than a whole body. Now what I would like to do is replace the round cap with the fan cap, because I'm curious. There we go. Because I'm curious to see what difference in pattern can we see. So the first thing that we need to do is remove the nut cap, the nut holding the cap. There we go. Slide out the cap. There we go. Very easy, just slide it out. And then we need to remove the nozzle from inside the cap. And that simply slides out just like that. Bring the fan cap, reinsert the nozzle. There we go. Reinstall. Always watch out for the needle because right now it is exposed, so it's easy to puncture your hand or else damage the needle, so take care. You can also remove the needle if you want for this job. And then put back the nut, the cap nut. Now, as we said earlier, there are two different positions, and I shall begin with the horizontal one. There we go. Let's keep it horizontal. And as we said earlier, the horizontal one will give vertical spraying patterns. So there we go. And regarding color, I'm going as bright as can be with a fluorescent red color. Let's see. Nice. As we can see, let's see with just one stroke. And there we go. You can see with just one stroke at this distance what a white pattern it makes. Let me spray a little bit closer. And more far away. Very cool indeed. So you can see the different type of effects that can be caused simply by moving the distance of the airbrush from the subject very close, and like 2 times the distance from this to this away from the subject. Once again, I will bring I have a curiosity of test it onto one of the sides of the poor Sylvia. So here it is once again, ready to receive its next color. So I have blown out any dust that might be present. Let's go ahead and see what the fan cap can actually do on a 1:24 car body. Interesting. This paint is quite transparent, so it's not ideal for such a test. However, we can see that with just a couple of strokes, the side was fully covered, and also tested on the back, where it had no trouble at all with covering with just a couple of strokes. For my final test, I shall turn the fan cap 90 degrees to vertical. Let's go over there. Vertical, and see the difference when it comes to spraying pattern. So here we are, another piece of paper, and a vertical fan cap will produce horizontal spray pattern. Let's go. The paint is changed once again to black. All right, so I have nice. Interesting addition. Definitely, I definitely like for certain effects the fan cap. Look at the different patterns regarding the distance. This was the closest one. Over here I got a little bit too close. As you can see, too much paint came out. However, so those are the close ones. This is the one that was done the most far away from the subject. So if you're looking, for example, for that type of weathering effect, it can certainly be created easily using the fan cap right there. So there we go, final conclusion on the Mobius TG. Overall, I must say I am very impressed. I really like the outcome, the spray patterns that was achieved using this airbrush. Also, I like the idea of having the fan cap. It's a very good idea for larger areas, as we could see. And also, I must say that the trigger airbrush is also very comfortable. I have done more tests than the one shown in the video, and so I have worked with a longer period of time with the trigger, and I must say that it kept constantly comfortable. My hand didn't feel like it is getting tired using this type of trigger airbrush, so I quite like. Well done, Gaahleri. I think you have managed to produce an excellent product with the Mobius TG. Also, when it comes to cleaning, so I have done all the jobs, and for the first time it is best to refer to the manual, because over here you have the disassembly instructions so that you can disassemble it safely. Obviously, it begins from the back to remove the needle, because as we could see earlier, once you remove the cap, the needle is fully exposed on the front, and that might hurt you, or else you might also damage the needle quite easily when it is exposed like that. So it's important to follow these instructions so that you can disassemble to clean the airbrush well, and then assemble as shown right there, this time beginning from the front part of the airbrush and finishing with the back. So that is what I shall be doing next. As I've shown, I will just remove the needle and go ahead and clean the airbrush well, always adhering to the procedure that I have just shown. So there we go. Remove the needle. There is still, I have sprayed thinner. However, as you can see, there is still some black paint residue over there. Now I shall remove the nut, the cap. Now, as you can see, the nozzle still has black paint on it over there. And with that black paint, it remained attached to the airbrush before it came out with the cap, since it was fully clean. So remove the cap. And now we have, there we go. And now we have a full opening where we can actually clean the needle, where the needle passes, the passage where the needle passes. Also removing the cap, the paint cap, we can see that even though I sprayed thinner, there is still some black paint residue onto the thread. So that's also something that you can clean. And over here, you can see the passage of the needle, which is quite neat, quite clean. And however, you have also some paint residue where the thread is, and you have that white O-ring that I also have some paint onto it, so I will take it out. There we go. Very easy. I shall take out. As you can see, it has paint residue onto the O-ring, so it's a good thing to also clean that. And clean this area of the thread, because I can see some black paint over there. So that is all from me. I shall go ahead and clean and reassemble together. As we've seen, I really hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down below, and I will do my best to answer you. So far, the experience with my first experience with a Gaahleri airbrush has been very positive, and I'm looking very, very forward to integrate this airbrush, to continue using this airbrush for my works, which looks very, very promising, and I think that I have chosen the perfect candidate for that job. Thank you for watching, and I will see you into my next video, which I've said will be about, once again, it will be related to Gaahleri, because I shall test out a range of their Kaleido Colorworks, which also look very promising. So keep watching for that video, which will be coming also very soon. Oh, because I almost forgot. You can get yourself 10% off your next order directly from the Gaahleri website by entering my code CarlScaleModeling. One word. I will leave all the details, the link together with the code, in this video's description below, so be sure to check that out and also benefit from the personal code once you're going to make your next order from Gaahleri. Once again, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all into my next video.